It appears that while making this video, I hit 40 subscribers. Okay, I just want to say thank you all for this huge 40 subscribers thing, and I know I've been gone for a very long time, so it's just great to see that you all guys all still believe in me, and I hope you enjoy this countdown. You've seen my top 7 least favorite bosses, and now you're going to see my top 7 favorite normal bosses. Bosses in video games are loved for many reasons, whether they're fun to play against, have cool personalities and backstories, or all of the above. And today I'm going to count down my top 7 favorite normal. The same rules for every boss list are here. One per franchise, only games I've played, and no final bosses. Also, since I'm talking about bosses, there will be some spoilers on this list. Hey, I said spoilers without Edmund showing up. Dang it! Anyway, let's begin. Remember when I said that Kung Fu Panda the game was one of the best licensed games that I've played? Well, I still think that. One of my favorite things about this game is how it follows the movie. It follows it very loosely, only showing us the major moments. And one of those major moments was the Shifu and Tai Lung fight. This fight starts off with Tai sending out a wave of enemies to tear apart the Jade Palace to find the Dragon Scroll. After the long enemy takedown, you begin the fight. His only attacks are kicking a bunch of rocks at your face. You know, for a guy who knows Kung Fu, we never really see him do any. Come on, I want to see some of your moves! Anyway, the only way to attack him is when he hurls a pillar at you. And when he does it, you need to go into a quick time event in order to deflect it back at him. After 3 hits, he'll go to the next floor where the next part of the fight will take place. The same thing happens up here, except he sends enemies out to attack you. After the second phase, you go up to the final floor. There you have to make your way across the crumbling ceiling to get to Tai. Once you reach him, you go into a quick time event to finish him off. This is an intense battle with some intense music, though it would have been better if he used some Kung Fu! Okay, Owen, calm down. Now, where was I? Oh yeah, number 6. I finally get to talk about this game. Super Mario Galaxy has got to be my favorite Mario game, and one of the reasons for that are the bosses. I mean, you have Mega Legs, that Barracuda thingy, and the Bowser Jr. fights. But my favorite boss in the game has got to be Bouldergeist. This is definitely the most challenging boss on the list. Bouldergeist's main attacks are throwing rocks at you and sending pointy rocks up from the ground. When he throws the rocks at you, one will contain a black boo, which you need to use to do some damage to Bouldergeist. Once it hits 3 times, his head and uvula pop out of his body as he runs away. Yeah, I don't get it either. Leaving a spot open for you to attack. In the second phase, he'll make some fists and add 2 new attacks. One where he punches and one where he smashes. You need to do the same thing to attack him here. Bouldergeist is a challenging and fun boss fight which takes the number 6 spot. Also, who came up with his name? I need to get that person a hug. Don't judge me. I had a hard time choosing which boss from the Epic Mickey series to put on this list. I mean, you have awesome ones like the Clock Tower, Peatronic, and the Fake Blot. But the one I decided to put on this list was Captain Hook. Why is this boss my favorite? Well, simple. It's a fun fight. I really need more emphasis than that. What makes this boss my favorite is how unique it is. By that I mean you can defeat this boss in 3 ways. If you want to pick the hero's path, you have to make your way up to Pete Pan Sprite, get it? Because instead of Peter Pan, it's Pete Pan, who cares, and release it. Then Pete Pan will do the rest for you. If you want to do it on the thinner path, you have 2 ways. One, you can make him go all over the place using the gears to make him crash and fall into piratey pieces, or 2, turn all the gears to form a path going off the ship and he'll fall off. What I love about this fight is that it's entirely based on players' interpretation, kind of like the rest of the game. and that's why it's awesome. The Great Mighty Pooh, one of the most hilarious and classic bosses of all time. Too bad it's not on. Now wait a minute, let me explain. I never played Conker's Bad Fur Day because I never owned a Nintendo 64, but I have faced a boss similar to it. Okay, this boss is awesome. His attacks are very tough to avoid, which involve drilling, smashing, and lasers. Another reason this boss is awesome is the build-up to it. Throughout the rig, people talk about how the Drill X sings badly. Hey, I can sing badly too. That sounded expensive. Moving on. Remember how I said Bouldergeist was the most challenging boss on this list? Well, this one's even harder. Because of its tough to avoid attacks and the enemies that it spawns, it's just a huge challenge. And that's pretty much why I like it. It's tough, has great build-up, and it sings. You don't stand a chance, Skylander. Keep it from you, war background. Cause the power won't drop and the driller won't stop until the city of Tarkus is found. Classic. First bosses in games can be hit or miss. I mean, for every this, there's gotta be this. If you want to do a first boss right, do it like Robot Sandy from Battle for Bikini Bottom. Now, I talked about this boss in my SpongeBob bosses list, so I won't go into much detail. But I can talk some about it. This is a very well put together first boss. The 3 phases you fight the robot in are easy yet fun. In the first phase, it'll jump into the air and try to smash you. When it lands on the ground, you have to smash it. In the second phase, you play as Patrick, where you have to smash it and then carry its head over to a broken sign where you have to throw the head at it, electrocuting the body. Now, I already talked about how that is a lot to deal with, so yeah. In the third phase, the awesome factor goes down a bit. You have to bubble bash the robot's head after you smash it again. Oh well, it's still an awesome boss fight. Not only that, but it has my favorite boss theme of all time. Robot Sandy is my favorite first boss ever. One of the reasons Sly 2 is my favorite Sly game are the villains. One good example is John Bisson. He was a prospector during the Gold Rush. He accidentally got covered in snow and got frozen for many years. Later, thanks to global warming, he thawed out. Now he wants to become the best lumberjack in the world. One of the things he used to help him were the clockwork talons, which could cut through anything. So Sly and the gang have to stop him before he cuts down all the trees. In order to get those talons, they need to win the lumberjack games. However, they blow their cover and wake up in his lair. When Bentley escapes and runs into Bisson, he tells Bentley that he sold all the clockwork parts to another person. That means the main goal of the game, all the things you have been collecting, are now gone because of him. Jean Bisson, you are going down! This fight is as satisfying as ever. As you can see, no attacks that you perform will work, so you have to use the machines around you. You can burn him, drop logs on him, and cut him with saws. It's like the boss version of Ape Escape. Also, the music. It's crazy good. Jean Bisson is my favorite boss in the entire Sly Cooper series, let alone normal boss. While Blaze is my favorite Sonic character and Shadow is my second, Gamma is my third, because he's an awesome robot that has tons of character development. He started out as one of Eggman's E100 robots. He was tasked to find Froggy, frog that possesses Chaos's tail, forcing you to play as Big. Okay, I'll stay on topic. Soon he finds Froggy and gives him to Eggman. However, he soon finds out that Eggman has been tampering with his E100 brother, Beta, and soon all of the E100 series. After some helpful advice from Amy, you begin to take down all the E100 robots. After you take down the first three, you try to find Beta. When you do, you see that he's been transformed into a killing machine, and we have to fight him. This fight better be good, and it is really good. Unlike the first time you face him, this fight's a little trickier. The only way to attack him is when he does a charge attack. If that wasn't enough, you also have to dodge a missile and laser explosion attack. But what really puts the spot at number 1 is how emotional it is. I mean, Gamma's forced to kill his own brother, and the scene that follows ups the emotion to a whole new level. When Gamma walks over to Beta, he zaps Gamma and then explodes, and then Gamma explodes. Oh my gosh, why'd you have to kill Gamma? Back on topic. The Beta fight is not only my favorite boss of the Sonic series, but my favorite normal boss ever. It's emotional, but most importantly, it's fun. I'm the Pop Fizz Kid, and since I don't want to air my first end joke, I'll just show something funny. Or maybe I won't show anything funny. I don't know.